Hi, my name is Mark Batterson, author of Wild Goose Chase, and I want to say thanks for taking a couple of moments and letting me tell you about what Wild Goose Chase is all about. I'm actually in Celtic country at the ancient ruins of a church that stood here in the 7th century. It was about the 5th century that Christianity made its way into Britain and Scotland and Ireland. And the Celtic people had a very primal experience with God, a love of nature, and a love of God's creation. And I think for those reasons, they had an interesting name for the Holy Spirit. They called him An Geadh-Glas, or the Wild Goose. And when you first hear that name, it almost sounds a little sacrilegious at first earshot, but I love the connotations. A wild goose cannot be tracked or tamed. There's an air of mystery or a hint of unpredictability or an element of danger that surrounds a wild goose. And I think it really is a great description of what it means to live a spirit-led life. It feels like a wild goose chase. You're not going to know where you're going most of the time, and for many of us that causes tremendous circumstantial uncertainty and anxiety. But here's the thing. Circumstantial uncertainty goes by another name, and we call it adventure. And I just wonder if our institutionalized version of Christianity hasn't clipped the wings of the wild goose, and if we aren't missing out on what God originally intended. I know that in my own personal life, if you take the Holy Spirit out of my life spells boring. But if you add him into the equation of your life, all bets are off. You never know who you're going to meet, what you're going to do, where you're going to go. And that is the adventure of the wild goose chase. And so I think as I sit here today, it symbolizes, what is this kind of institutionalized Christianity that can be pretty innocuous and it's safe and it's predictable and it's civilized, and yet I think there's something deep down inside that longs for something that's more primal, that's more adventurous, that really is more in touch with who God is. And so Wild Goose Chase is an invitation into the adventure of chasing the wild goose. And I want to encourage you to pick up a copy, to read through it, and allow God to lead you into the spiritual adventure of following him.